Woo! What's going on, guys? Old Swarm coming at you guys. I got the aftermath. What happened at the Lions game with the Detroit Lions, Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions, and it's a heartbreaker, guys. Absolute heartbreaker. Same song and dance every year. Don't even know where to begin. I don't even know where to begin. I hate the term SOL. I can't stand it. I despise it. But yesterday was the absolute truth to SOL. That was SOL. Same old Lions. Same old Lions, guys. Up by 17 points. Going into the middle of the third quarter, whatever. Or up 17. We actually scored two touchdowns. We scored a touchdown at the end of the second quarter, just before halftime. Got in the end zone, came back, got the ball at halftime in the third quarter, at the start of the third, scored another touchdown. And we were up. We're up. We were starting to run away with it. Guys. And then Chicago comes back. They make, we make a couple boneheaded plays. Stafford made a couple boneheaded plays. Took a sack on one play. Took us out of field goal range. Threw a pick. Then the Bears ended up going up by, I think, 4 points. No, did they end up going up? Yeah, they ended up going up on us late in the game. And then we had to come back. It's deja vu written all over again, guys. I don't even really know where to begin, so I'm just gonna kind of wing this, guys. I'm gonna kind of throw it all over the place. So if I ramble and I scramble, that's it. I'm like, I've had more than 24 hours to absorb this. It's just, man, it's just the same crap over and over again. It's frustrating, but I love this team. So I'm gonna try to do this every week, man. I just hope it's not this heartbreaking, man. This is ridiculous. I can't take it anymore. I can't take this coaching staff. I can't take some of this player. I can't take this defense, man. This defense was supposed to be different. There's a couple different guys. Injuries piled on. It's not an excuse. Boneheaded plays, being an idiot on the field, getting kicked out of games. Come on, man. You know what I mean? This is supposed to be different. It's supposed to be a different regime. It's supposed to be different players, all that stuff, man. It's like watching the same movie over and over and over again, and it's a crap movie. It's one of those 3.5 hour long movies that your wife makes you watch, that you don't want to watch, but you got to watch it. You have to watch it because, you got, happy wife, happy life, right? And it's like, but this is actually something I enjoy. I enjoy watching football, but it's like the same ugly, dumb movie that that you're forced to watch. It's just annoying, man. But I'm gonna try and start with. I'm gonna do a little bit like what I did with the preview, man. I might go position by position, give you my thoughts and stuff like that. Trubisky killed us. Okay, Trubisky killed us. He wasn't phenomenal. He had a good passer. He had a pretty decent passer rating, I think, overall. But he threw three touchdowns. Three touchdowns late. He only threw for 242 yards, but three touchdowns. Three touchdowns killed us there. The Lion Killer's back. That's what he is. He's destroyed us in the last 4 games. I think overall, his last 4 straight, he's absolutely destroyed us. So he did it again to us. And Stafford wasn't great. He threw for 297 yards, a touchdown and a pick. He looked good in spots. He looked really good in spots. He looked elite in spots. And he was making some underthrows, overthrows. He made 2 boneheaded plays that I thought he made. 2 bad plays that he actually did make. He took the sack late on the one drive that got us out of field goal range. And then he threw that pick. He tried to fit in a fastball to Marvin Jones. It was tipped. It actually hit Marvin Jones. It was tipped. And then Kyle Fuller from the Bears came down from it and grabbed it. It was in Lions territory. It was at the 37, I believe, that Hawkinson wrapped him up, tackled him. Then they went on to score. It was just awful. It was just awful, man. But Stafford needs to be better. It's not totally on him. It can't be. It's not. Um, but he needs to be better. He needs to be smarter. He needs to be smarter. The coaching needs to get with him, and they need to run the ball more, man. Adrian Peterson was completely gassing that team, gassing them. By the way, he was just gassing them. So, anyways, the Bears' rushing attack, they had 149 yards on the ground. They seemed to be rushing pretty well. They didn't have crazy big numbers. Montgomery had 64 yards on the ground, but he had a big average, 4.9 yards a carry. So it just seemed like the D-line was having trouble containing everything. Our D-line couldn't do nothing. Our Lions rush, we had 138 on the ground total as a team. AP had 93 yards, 6.6 yards a carry. He was a man possessed out there. I'm still in shock. I'm still in shock that he was running the way he was against a pretty good defensive line, man. At the top 10 defense overall, okay? And even staff without Kenny Golladay, man, he was getting the ball to some players, man, that, had no business catching the ball. But, well, I can't say it like that. I don't mean it like that. I'm still wound up. Okay, I'm still wound up. Not that guys didn't deserve it. It's just that some guys did step up, though. Some guys stepped up. And Stafford, it seemed like he was under pressure a lot, man. He was avoiding sacks. I think they only sacked him twice. I only want to say that they only got to Stafford twice. I could be wrong on that. I could be wrong, but I think I probably have this written down. But they got like a couple quarterback hits on Stafford too, man. So he was avoiding defensive players all day, man. And he didn't have his number one guy out there, and that hurt us. It did, but it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. But anyways, back to the rushing. We had I'm all over the place, guys. Oh well. Sorry, guys. Carry-on was awful. He had like 7 carries for like 14 yards or something like that. He with like a 2 point something YPC, man, yards per carry, man. Every time it seemed like he got the ball, he'd fall down. He would fall down. He's lost his job. He has to. It's obvious. It's obvious that Adrian Peterson is the best running back on this team. Probably the best player on the team. He's probably the best player on the team. And how pathetic is that? How pathetic is that, man? That you got a guy, Adrian Peterson, hey man, who's a first ballot Hall of Famer, okay? First ballot, right? 35 years old. He comes in and he's not even there a week. He's not even here a week, and he's your best player on the team. What does that make everybody? What does that make the other Lions players feel? You know what I mean? Like, you got Adrian Peterson, you got Matt Stafford, you got Kenny Golladay. I don't know who you got on a defense. It's supposed to be Jamie Collins. It's supposed to be that guy. But no. Jamie Collins puts on a Lions uniform and turns into like a high schooler. Puts his helmet into the chest of a referee, trying to show that Montgomery was running with his head down. But don't touch the ref. You ain't in New England no more, bro. You're not in New England anymore. Be smart, man. Be smart. You can get away with that in New England. You know what I mean? You can get away with stuff like that, probably. Not wearing these colors. Not wearing these colors, guys. You can't. So he ends up getting kicked out of the game. And I'll get back to that, man. So I'm all over the joint, man. I'm still fired up. Then you go to the Bears wide receivers. They were pretty solid all around. Anthony Miller was 4 catches, 76 yards, and a big score. Allen Robinson, 5 catches for 74 yards. Jimmy Graham went 3 for 25 and a touchdown. Javon Wims had 1 catch, 1 yard, 1 touchdown. So yeah, that's where Trubisky threw his touchdowns to, was Anthony Miller, Jimmy Graham, and Javon Wims. Our Lions wide receivers, Danny Amendola stepped up. He went 5 for 81, which was really nice. Hawkinson was big, 5 for 56, and one touchdown. I predicted he'd have 80 yards. He was about 24 yards shy, but he had a good day. Good week one for him. Got to get him more involved too. And then Marvin Jones went 4 for 55. He kind of got in late. He didn't have a catch for a while. And then Cephas, the rookie, man, went 3 for 43, and he led the team in actual targets. Stafford threw the ball to him 10 times. I think the closest next guy might have been, I just wrote this down too. I just looked at it on my computer. It might have been Amendola. It might have been Amendola with the second in targets. I'm not 100% sure on that. But Cephas led the team in targets, which is good. Which is a good sign, because that means Stafford actually trusts him. Actually trusts him, and it's a good sign. You like seeing like that. You like that. It's a good sign. He actually had 2 drops too, Cephas. I can remember 2 for sure. Once where he was coming across, and then he had another one where he dropped. He had at least 2 drops. There was a few drops by Lions wide receivers. A few big drops. But they need to get, another thing about these wide receivers, they need to get Marvin Hall involved. I don't understand. Every time that guy catches a ball, it's for 20-something plus yards or 30-something yards. He had 1 catch for 26 yards. And it was a big catch. I do remember that. It was a very big catch. It was a big catch, and he got 2 targets. Get him more involved. You have to get him more involved. I don't understand. Get him involved. Okay, then the Bears D, man. Danny Trevathan, Gibson Sr., Roquan Smith, all the guys I talked about that were playmakers got involved. They have 7 tackles each for the Bears. 5 quarterback hits, so I did write that down. Good job, Marky. Mac was pretty much held in check, man. He had 0 sacks, 0 quarterback hits, but he had 4 tackles total. 2 solo, 4 tackles. So they actually did a pretty good job on Khalil Mack. I was actually really surprised how good of a job they did. Tyrell Crosby and Decker, whoever had to hold him, whoever had to go one-on-one against him, did pretty good, and they were getting help too. I think Jesse James was in on there too, because I didn't see him out there catching balls. So if he did, I don't remember him doing it, and I don't remember seeing it on the box score or anything like that. But yes, they held the All-Pro pretty good, which was very surprising, and it's a good thing to see. Now the Lions D, that vaunted Lions D. Walker had 9 tackles. Flowers had a pretty good day, man. 6 tackles. He had a strip sack, which was really huge late in the game too. Was it late in the third or early in the fourth? I forget when it was. It was pretty late in the game. It was a big one though. It was a real big one. It forced Bears to punt to us, and it was big. It was very big. He came through, but that D line does nothing. That D line, they had a couple quarterback hits, a little bit of pressure, but they just don't. They don't have the guys, man. They don't have the guys to do it. Romeo Okwara has disappeared. Danny Shelton was okay. I seen him penetrating a little bit. Nick Williams, I didn't see do much. If Julian got in there, I don't remember seeing him really. There wasn't much of that D-line, guys. They were getting gas on the run. They were getting gas in the pass. They weren't doing much. The linebackers weren't really doing anything. Devy looked terrible. I thought he looked really bad. Reggie Ragland looked okay, made a couple stops. But they didn't, as a whole, they didn't do that defense. They even dropped 3 would-be interceptions too. Walker dropped 1, Coleman dropped 1, and so did Trufant. They all had opportunities to make interceptions, and they dropped the ball, literally. To win football games, you have to make plays. Be a playmaker. You have to. You had a chance to bury this team, and you absolutely pooped your pants. Okay? The whole team did. Like, I'm not impressed with the offense either. Yeah, you scored some points against a pretty good D. But, man, whatever happened to Dagger Time, man? What's Dagger Time? Most ridiculous quote, most ridiculous statement ever heard in my life. Dagger Time? Come on, man. Let's go. Jeez. Up by 17, you gave up 21 points in the fourth quarter. Right? That's awful. Completely awful. Then your offense didn't help it either, man, by not scoring late. Your offense didn't help by not scoring late. They literally just sat back. They actually tried to throw the ball though, which I was like, okay, man, but you got a running back, Adrian Peterson, who's killing it right now. Why are you running the football? Like, why are you throwing the ball? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Stafford's got a great arm and he makes great throws, but eat the clock. Come on, man. So, and I'm sick of this coaching staff. And I'm sick of this coaching staff not taking responsibility either. Matt Patricia, I'm done with him. I'm literally done with that guy. The stuff that he said after the game, the one quote, did everybody hear it? I think it was Michael Rothstein, one of the Lions beat writers, asked, and don't quote me on this totally, but I'm going to try to get it 100% accurate. He goes, what do you think it is? This is Rothstein asking Patricia. He goes, what do you think it is in the fourth quarter with your coaching staff? Do you think you guys have mental breakdowns? Do you have something that happens? Is it a breakdown? You know what he says? You know what Matt Patricia says? He goes, this guy's so arrogant that he says, no. He goes, I have one of the best calls ever in the history of the fourth quarters, ever, on his resume. And you know what he's referring to? He's referring to 4 or 5 years ago, about the Malcolm Butler interception, where Russell Wilson dropped back and threw a pick on the goal line. Dude, nobody gives a damn about Malcolm Butler catching a ball, intercepting Russell Wilson 5 years ago, man. Nobody cares. And you're going to come out and you're going to say that you got that on your resume, you got the best call in the history? No, you don't. This guy's a buffoon. He is. He's an absolute buffoon, guys. This guy's so arrogant, he doesn't think anything is wrong. That's what we get from this. That's the kind of quote that you say when you don't think anything's wrong. You know, your defense played bend but don't break all game up until the little bit in the middle of the third when Chicago started scoring touchdowns. You played that bend but don't break. You got gassed, rushing, throwing, and then they'd kick field goals. Kicked a couple field goals, bang, bang. I think they kicked two or three field goals. I think it was two. 2 field goals they kicked. So the one good thing is you were holding them out of the end zone. Good for you guys. You were holding them out, but you're still getting gassed. And then later on, I don't know what happened, but you gave up 21 points. 21 points late in the game to lose the game 27-23. And then Matt Stafford had to be Matt Stafford again. He had to will this team back, which he did. He willed the team all the way back. And what happens? Our rookie running back drops a ball in the end zone, touchdown, perfectly placed. And I'm not going to bash this kid, but he needs to catch that ball. Why is it every time somebody puts on this uniform that they turn into a bag of trash? And he's not trash. He's not. But it's just like things don't go well. It's like a curse, man. It's like a total curse. He puts that uniform on 31 other teams, he catches that ball. That's how I feel. That's the feeling that I have. And that's a bad feeling to have, man. And I loved DeAndre Swift. I loved the pick. But catch the ball, kid. Catch the ball. You know, and then you got guys on the radio, mocking Matt Stafford. Oh, but if DeAndre Swift just catches the ball, they win. Well, yeah, they do, dummy. They actually do win the game. Like, you know what I mean? It's incredible. It's incredible that the bashing that Stafford gets on that. You know what I mean? And he deserves some of the bashing. He does. He deserves, because he was not great that game. But he wasn't the lone reason why they lost. He wasn't. He's a part of it, but he wasn't the lone reason. And he needs to go. He needs to go. Stafford needs to ask for a trade. And it's going to break my heart because that's my quarterback, man. I love that guy. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen play. He's a great quarterback, you know? He's Brett Favre, the 2.0. He is. It's just too bad that they can't build around him. You know what I mean? It's just too bad that they can't build around him. Throwing a couple wide receivers his way is just not a way of building. But whatever, man. But that's my rant, guys. That's my rant. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm glad I didn't make this video yesterday, because if I would have made this video yesterday, there probably would have been a bunch of swearing and a bunch of other things. Because I was hot yesterday. I was angry. I was fired up, but it took me a while. It took me a while to get over it. I'm still not over it. It's just like a record player, man. It just keeps going over and over again. Just get constantly reminded. But up next, we got the Green Bay Packers. We got to go to Lambeau. You saw what Green Bay did to Minnesota, right? You saw what they did. They dropped 43 points on that team. Okay? Now, Minnesota scored 30-something. So, Green Bay's defense might not be all that hot. But Minnesota's got a pretty good squad. But I don't know what happened there. But I know we're not as good defensively. And Aaron Rodgers went absolutely insane. 360-something yards, 4 touchdowns versus Minnesota. What's he going to do to us, man? What's he going to do to us? We're going to have a shootout with that guy? Just buckle up. So there it is, guys. There it is. There it is, man. I hope I have a better preview. I hope I have a better Sunday next week. Lions fans, I hope you guys all do too. But I will come at you guys with some my Detroit at Green Bay preview. I'll come at you guys with that probably on Saturday. I will come at you guys with some Tiger stuff. I got a White Sox video coming out with Chicago White Sox versus Detroit. I got that coming out. Probably come out tomorrow. That's a series that just wrapped up too as well. But don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. That's what it's all about, man. Hit the bell. Smash that all button so you get all the vids. And hey, man, let's go. Let's go Lions. Let's go Tigers. Boom.